Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack Podcast. It is XENOBLADE Chronicles 3 Eve. I know a lot of people who are listening live are waiting for this game to come out. There is so much hype. I'm seeing so much hype around this, Garrett, on my timeline.
So much hype.
My friends. I can't help but feel like I'm missing out a little bit every time there's a really big game coming out that I'm just not interested in. Like I get that like FOMO, that fear of missing out, that I almost kind of want to try it, but I think I'll just live vicariously through everyone else. I'm having some fun with some other stuff, but we're going to talk about the review roundup for XENOBLADE 3, as well as some other Nintendo news from the week. How are you doing today, Garrett? It feels like we just talked. We just had it on, the podcast on Sunday to make up for last week.
Yes.
Yeah. How are things going this week for you?
I'm doing okay. The power went out in my apartment building, so that was interesting. For like a few hours.
Why?
Actually, it was a whole outage around like a couple blocks in the city. So I don't know what happened there, but it was not like just a building central issue. It was like the energy company around here issue.
Wow.
So yeah, I was debating whether I had to go out and like work somewhere else, but fortunately it came back after a couple hours and I'm like, okay, off the hotspot, I'm good. Luckily, I have unlimited data on my plan on my phone, so I was
that's good. Yeah,
just relying on that. But yeah, I am super hyped for XENOBLADE Chronicles 3. Rebecca.
We'll talk about it.
I'm so hyped. Oh man,
I'm so glad.
But my my copy has still not been shipped. Hold on.
That's so stressful. That always stresses me out. Like I try not to order, like when I know I want a game on release day, I try not to order online just because of the chance of it not coming on release day, or I'm sitting around the house waiting, looking out the window, waiting for the mailman.
Yeah.
So I try to go to the store and buy it when I can, but
yeah.
Where are you getting yours?
Here's the thing. It's actually Best Buy. It says it's arriving tomorrow. That's what it says on my order. So arriving tomorrow. It could be like a local thing and they just like drop it off at my place or something. Yeah.
I feel like Best Buy has their own drivers sometimes.
They do. It depends on location.
Not necessarily going through like FedEx or something.
Especially like, if you're in a city and like a Best Buy is like pretty close to you, sometimes they are very local. They'll just like have like someone go on a bike and drop off at your place. Sometimes it's small enough. Yeah. So they have some strategies like that. I don't normally pre-order via like Best Buy or whatever, but I wanted to get this. I actually didn't want to get it digitally. I wanted to get a physical copy of this game. And also like, and like to me, like if I don't get it tomorrow, it's not the end of the world. Like for me, I'm okay. But it's just like, hey, I ordered it. I'm gonna push Best Buy a little bit to make sure it's in there. It's saying it's arriving tomorrow, so I trust them.
Let's see. A lot of people, I don't know. For me, for like a huge game, like I do get that fear of missing out where like everyone's playing it, everyone's talking about it. I'm going to be so behind. I'm going to finish it so much later than everyone else. But you're more patient than I am.
The thing is with this game, I'm going to be at it for like a month or so. So I'm like, okay, if I don't get it Friday, I'll get it Saturday. It'll be okay. Or Monday or whatever. I know some people out there pre-ordered the special edition only from the Nintendo store. I've been seeing, it's shipping out like yesterday, but like the certain location they're coming from is going to take like 5 to 7 business days.
Monday.
Yeah, they're going to get way later. So I'm sure there's the extreme fans that have pre-ordered the special edition and get it digitally. to make sure that they come in on day one.
I feel like if you're getting the special edition, you probably don't mind double dipping to play it on release day.
Oh, for sure. I think the special edition for a lot of people, it's a collectible.
Right.
Like if you want to keep it intact as much as they can and like sealed, that's actually probably the way to go with the special edition. But I heard there's some really cool stuff in there, like the art book and the case and the design. It looks all great. So I'm jealous of you guys. I am. I'm super jealous. But I can't wait for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'll be diving right into it when I get it.
We'll talk about the reviews in just a little bit, but what else have you been up to this week?
Okay. Update Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the DLC. And I mentioned this on the RPG Cave as well earlier this week. I don't know if it's a hot take. I don't think it is a hot take. I'm not gonna finish it. And I don't want to finish it. There's this very specific thing that you do in this game that I don't want to do. And that is forcing side quests on you.
Yeah, and it does that. Said that last episode.
Yeah, so I got to a point where there's like this kind of community level in the game. It's like, okay, get to level 2 in this community level. And it's like you do a bunch of side quests. I'm like, okay, I can do that. Level 2 is no problem. It's like 5 side quests or whatever. And of course, each level increases the amount of like requirements of side quests in order to get to the next level. I did a main mission right after that. Pretty pivotal, big main mission, super neat. And then the next main mission, okay, get to level 4, not 3, level 4 community level.
Is that high?
So to get to like the level 3, I had to do at least another, I would say 10 to 12 side quests. Just other things that I kind of accumulated over the game. It's like, oh, I got to do these side quests now.
Yeah.
It got to the point on what really broke me was this one quest that forced me to do a few things. One is I had to clear Rumble in the city that has a skill check on your blades. So I had to get enough levels of skills on my blades or whatever. And it's like, I don't have that. How do I get that? Oh, I have to craft a certain item. How do I craft that certain item? Oh, I have to gather the materials from a certain province, but I don't know where it is.
Figure out another thing, to do another thing, just to do the original thing.
Yes. So it got to the point with me with that. I was like, no. After I was done with that side quest, I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is a waste of time.
Yeah.
I would rather watch these cutscenes on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm not gonna finish Torna.
Is it necessary to finish it to understand what's going on in 3?
No.
Are they separate enough?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I think these DLCs like this Torna, and then one has one as well, Future Connected. They're like their own stories in that universe. It's like, okay, here's this other side story that happens.
Okay. That makes sense.
And that's
so you don't need
that's
to.
pretty
And
much
if you're
it.
curious about the story, you can just, like you said, just watch it on YouTube.
Exactly. So I'm probably would just do it like that, and I just don't want to do that. XPS says you need to do about 80% of the side quests in order to beat the main story.
Then they're not side quests.
They're not side quests then.
I would not call that a side, like that's no.
So, anyways, I'm kind of done with that game. Oh, wait, what happened? Donnie saying Wawa is mid.
Ban him. He's not allowed to chat on our channel anymore.
Donnie, I agree with you. Anyways, let's just keep on going over here. So I'm kind of just done with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, and that game in general. I cannot wait for 3. So that it doesn't really affect my hypeness towards 3 because I've read the reviews. I'm good. The next game I want to mention that I've been playing actually as a palate cleanser. Ever heard of The Gunk?
I've heard of it, but honestly, I don't know a lot about it.
That's okay. The Gunk is made by Image and Form, the people who made the SteamWorld games. The Heist and SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's ringing a bell.
Yeah. So they made those games primarily, Nintendo focused game, like set of games over there. But then they made the Gunk, which is actually a Xbox console exclusive, also on Steam, but like it's not on PlayStation and it's not on Switch, and it's on Game Pass, and it is a 3D. It is a 3D like puzzle platformer type of deal, where you're this person that actually, it's like a couple of people, of explorers that land in this alien planet, and you're trying to figure out what's going on with this planet. And so there's this thing called the Gunk, which it looks like a black ooze or whatever that's just like kind of makeshifting all around. And you have this like kind of this vacuum gun on your hand, and you kind of just get rid of all the gunk in a certain area, and then you go to the next one. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of collectibles and like crafting. So you like collect materials in order to get upgrades on your like weapons or whatever, but it's very surface level. It's not like too big systems or everything. You just collect some items, do some upgrades, so on and so forth. It's much more an action, like 3D platformer. And it's actually pretty nice. It's not like overstaying its welcome. It's a neat little game. I'm intrigued by it. So yeah, it's good so far. I wouldn't say it's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's just like I'm enjoying
adventure.
this game. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And then lastly, I've been, I've been shifting away from Xenoblade. I'm like, okay, triangle strategy. Let me try to put some time into it. Triangle strategy. Here we go.
Did you start it before, or did you just start it now?
I played the demo, which is like the first 3 chapters or 2 chapters, something like that. So, and that's able to transfer over your save from the demo. Yeah.
You're starting this before Xenoblade comes out?
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to pop it in. I was a little like, broken with Torna. I was like, I want to put another JRPG in my system now. I bet. Oh my gosh, Rebecca, I think I need to play more of this. This is so good. This is my bread and butter. I love this game. Oh,
I don't know why you put it off. This should have been a priority for you.
This should have been a priority for me. So this and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 are going to be my main priorities for the next remaining future of this year. So next 2 or 3 months. I can't wait to play all this JRPG goodness on Switch. Yeah. So I am living my best life right now. I'm being good with all these Switch games.
Good.
Pretty much. That's pretty much it. What about you?
I'm not going to talk about this for too long because people want to talk about. What they want to hear is talk about Xenoblade. I played my first Sonic the Hedgehog game this week, Garrett.
Oh, you did?
I did. I played it on stream. I played Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
Oh.
Know that neither of us are really big Sonic fans, but I tried it out. I played through the whole game, and it was fun. I liked it.
Cool. How long did it take?
Like maybe like 3 hours. I used save states. I cheated. I don't care.
Oh, no.
I didn't go fast. I took my time. Mostly wasn't like terribly hard, but like I don't have time to like die over and over. And the problem with that game is that, once you get to like the last level, if you run out of lives, you have to start over from the very beginning. And I was not all about that. So that's why I cheated and used states and
like
stuff.
The classic games.
Not about that. But I enjoyed my time with Sonic the Hedgehog 1. So
did you go really fast?
I did not go really fast because then you run into enemies and you die. Going fast is a lie. It's a lie. It's the biggest lie that Sonic fans ever told us.
It looks super fast all the time.
Yeah.
So
not me.
All right. Sounds good.
So let's talk about Xenoblade.
Well, I mean, like, are you intrigued to play more Sonic games after this? Like, what's the...
It was very culturally eye-opening to see where Sonic's roots are from. You know me and platformers. They're difficult.
That's a very tamed answer.
But, it's not bad. And people were saying that this was a bad, that Sonic 1 is like Zelda 1. Like, it's like not the Sonic experience that you should be like zoning in on to get like the idea of like what Sonic's all about. So I feel like because I enjoyed my time with Sonic 1, I probably would like the other ones better. Is it a priority? No. Would I be open to it? Yes.
Cool. There's that Sonic Mania. I heard that's a really good callback, a really good game.
That's what I heard.
So I wanted to try that specific Sonic game. I think I won't try any other Sonic games because I've had a bad experience with them.
I kept accidentally calling the rings coins.
Whoops.
I guess that's like the Mario, the Nintendo fan in me calling them coins.
Oh my gosh, you lost your coins.
So what I didn't know is just how important the rings are. Do you know like what the rings do in Sonic?
Do they make you go faster?
They don't. Maybe they do in other games, but not in this game. In this game, they were my health. So if you got hit by something, you would lose your coins, your rings. See, I just did it again.
You just did it unintentionally.
I kept doing that the whole time. You lose all the rings, and then if you get hit again, like without having any rings, you lose your life. You die. But this is me clearly like Nintendo fan on the Nintendo Tech podcast, like totally a noob at Sonic. But it was cool. It was a very good experience for the Nintendo fan in me.
Yeah, I would give them credit though. The Sonic ring sound.
It's cool.
The actual sound. That's actually iconic as well. I gotta hand it to them.
We didn't mention that last week when we were asked the most iconic sound. That is a good sound. The soundtrack was very good as well.
Sounds good.
That iconic green hill zone.
G the man says 100 coins is an extra life, right?
I never got that far. I never got past 50 at a time, Garrett.
Oh my goodness. And you played on Switch Online, right? The Sega Genesis?
It's not on there. If
it's
you
not
can
on
believe
there?
it. If you can, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is on there. But Sonic the Hedgehog 1 is not.
Okay. We gotta still wait. Or get it on there's a Sega like museum, like whatever, for super cheap, actually. I think it's on sale right now.
I didn't do that.
I know. We all know what you did. Do crimes, guys.
XENOBLADE Chronicle 3. The reviews dropped on Tuesday. I don't think I was surprised by this. So right now it's sitting at an 89 on Metacritic, 88 on OpenCritic. That's pretty good. I saw a lot of really high praise reviews. I thought it was going to eventually sit. When I was looking at it, it was in the lower 90 range. So it did dip down a little bit once more reviews started to pour in. But I was reading through some of the summaries of them, and a few people said it's about 150 hours long. There were several reviews that said that they hit the 100-hour mark at the time of this review. Holy crap, that's a long game. And a lot of the reviews praise the combat and the characters. They're saying that this is like the best combat of any of the three games.
Yes.
Oh, what do you think? Did you read any of these reviews?
I read some of these reviews. I'm just overall just very excited. Very like I think I've read enough and watched enough. I'm like, this is the Xenoblade game I'm anticipating. I'm glad it's reviewing like this. I didn't expect it to go crazy, right? Like to have great impressions or like 95s or 96 like scores or whatever. You just understand the people who review this are Xenoblade fans.
Yeah.
And so that's why you see the 100-hour or 150-hour mark stuff. There's I actually read the Game Informer one. Or was it? I think it was Game Informer. No, wait. It could have been the what's the European one? I forgot.
Eurogamer.
Eurogamer. That's it. I did actually read that one. They beat it in like 50-ish hours. Wow. I think it's like so it really depends if you mainline it or do a bunch of side quests or whatever. Okay. So it varies widely for sure.
Yeah, a lot of the reviewers, you're right, are fans. They probably wanted to get their time in. I think the copies went out pretty generously early. I know a lot of the times they give us games like a week before it releases. that cannot be the case for this game. You cannot play this in a week.
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. I love the UI of this game the most out of all the previous games. It looks sleek. It looks super nice, very smooth. Digital Foundry did a video. I watched all the way through that, the analysis of it. It's very interesting what they were able to detect and what like improvements they made on top of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It looks like a much better performing Switch game than ever before, getting all the juice out of the Switch's performance. And they anticipate next game is going to probably target the next gen console because this is all they can do. Like this is probably the top tier like performance out of a Nintendo first party, especially how big this game is, right? Like these Xenoblade games are huge. So they did a pretty good job.
It does look very pretty, I will admit.
So very excited for it. And that's all I have to say.
Tom wanted to know, what is your most anticipated aspect about Xenoblade Chronicles 3?
I think it's mainly the combat for sure. It looks it looks very different than the previous ones, which I'm happy about. It looks way more fluid and smooth, whereas the previous ones, like even 2, I just couldn't bear with like all the different combinations going with it. It was very complicated, but this one looks complex but very like streamlined.
I was gonna say, I saw a few people say that it is complex, it's very involved, but it's not hard to learn and grasp.
Yeah.
Is that
your
impression?
That's my impressions too of it. So I'm glad that they really put their time and effort into the combat system and made it the best it's ever been in that aspect. I think they've always nailed down the story, even though 2, I guess it wasn't as my favorite story. It was still really good. So I'm sure the story will be fine. And like, I just hope the layout, the maps and the quest systems and the UI is easy to get into as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't have a most anticipated aspect, Tom, but I am very excited for my friends. I have a lot of friends who are excited about this game who
I bet
won't stop talking about it. So maybe my most anticipated aspect is to like, let them enjoy it and I'll probably still be hearing it months from now because they'll still be playing it.
Sounds good.
I'm happy when other people are getting the games that they like. So
there's a lot of other people that are way more excited than me. There's a lot of other people that think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is their favorite game ever on Switch, and I just can't grasp that. But hey, they're just super excited for this game, and so I'm hyped with them. And so yeah, I hope it brings more sales onto Xenoblade. I'm sure they'll do. I'm sure they'll do another Xenoblade Chronicles. Actually.
Doesn't this wrap up the? I like read some that this is like an ending, like a finale type. I know they'll make other Xenoblade games.
There
but
was
this
an
is like
interview.
The arc.
Yeah, there was an interview this morning though. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it earlier from the Shack Discord because I actually posted online this morning. Yeah, so the one is the planned story DLC. With it will be similar in volume to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna DLC. Not surprised there. And then they say it is confirmed that Xenoblade Chronicles series will continue beyond 3. So they're planning on another game and or something else. It could be it could be Xenoblade Chronicles Warriors.
I know that they'll keep doing Xenoblade stuff. It's not like it's gonna end. They wouldn't be the ones. Would they be the ones doing Xenoblade War? I guess they would still be involved with Xenoblade Warriors, but wouldn't that?
Well, I mean, Koei Tecmo. Yeah, and a lot what they do is like they just collaborate a lot, right? They just Koei Tecmo. I don't know what they've been doing, but they a master of this art of like assimilating these franchises and their actual game and their mechanics into the like that warrior setting. You saw it with Age of Calamity and then Persona and now Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I imagine Xenoblade could translate pretty easily for them as well.
I can definitely see that. I would be surprised if that was not the next Warriors game on Switch.
Yeah, XENOBLADE Chronicles 3 Warriors. I imagine that would be
so easy to imagine that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so get hype, everyone. It's a little bit more than an hour over here on the East Coast for it to unlock. I know a lot of people will be staying up late playing it. If you are listening to this podcast recorded after the fact, I hope you're enjoying it.
Hope you're enjoying it.
Some other news that came out today. Was this today? I have no concept of time in summer. I guess it was today. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave number 2 is coming next week.
Yeah.
Finally. I feel like we've been waiting forever to hear news of when this is coming. It's releasing on August 4th next week. Thursday, I guess.
Yeah. Next week. Oh my gosh, August is next week.
I know. That's what I'm. It's too soon. It should not be happening.
Times just stop, please. Like, this is going too fast.
I know. So the 8 courses are as follows. The Turnip Cup will include Calamari Desert from the N64.
Nice.
Yeah. Mario Circuit 3 from the Super Nintendo. Waluigi Pinball from the DS. New York Minute from Mario Kart Tour. In the Propeller Cup will include Sydney Sprint from Mario Kart Tour, Mushroom Gorge from Wii, Snowland from Super Circuit on the Game Boy Advance, and Sky High Sunday, which this surprised me. This was the first one they showed. They showed the longest of this one. It's actually a brand new course that's going to be later added to Tour. So it's a course that's planned for Tour, but technically we're getting it first with Mario Kart 8, and it looks so pretty. People were comparing it to Fall Guys. I don't know if you saw the footage. It looks kind of like the same color scheme and graphic style. It's like a big, sundae, like an ice cream sundae that you're racing around. So I think that's pretty cool. I think I said this last time. There's 3 Mario Kart Tour courses that are releasing here, and I have never played Mario Kart Tour, so these are brand new courses for me. Sky High Sunday is going to be brand new for everybody, and the only Mario Kart game that I have put a considerable amount of time into is Mario Kart Wii.
Okay.
So Mushroom Gorge is the only one here that I'm most familiar with. I know a lot of people are excited about Waluigi Pinball. Apparently that's a very good one. Zach wrote in and he had a couple of questions for us. Let's start with, among the tracks listed, which one are you looking forward to playing the most?
It is definitely Waluigi Pinball. That one is so crazy. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, they were able to pull it off on the Mario Kart DS, and I always chose that. One of my favorite courses from that game. So I'm very happy Waluigi Pinball is going in. And of course, Calamari Desert is very nostalgic for me.
That's the one with the train going by. So that's really cool. That's a really cool
Oh my gosh, did I tell you the story of that?
No.
Oh my gosh. That's one of the first kind of races I actually played on in a Mario Kart game with my cousin. He had the N64. He had the system ahead of me. I only had the SNES. And so I went over to his place, played Calamari Desert, split screen. And I was so young, I couldn't figure out which character I was, like top or bottom.
And I feel like that's like a universal experience.
Yeah. And then once I figured out who I was, like the character wise, the borderline between the track and out like the grass or the desert patches or whatever, it's very slight, like shade. I could not tell where to go at all. In that. So I definitely struggled my first time playing Mario Kart with Mario Kart 64.
Though. That's so cool, and you'll remember that when you're playing it on Mario Kart 8. Yeah, I am also excited for Waluigi Pinball. I played a little bit of that when I had Mario Kart 7, and for the 3DS, I guess that was.
3DS,
I think that one was included on there, so I'm familiar with it. I liked it. Mushroom Gorge, I put so many hours into Mario Kart Wii. I love Mushroom Gorge. It's awesome. And then I'm really excited just to try all of the ones that are from Tour, the New York Minute,
Me too.
Sydney Sprint, and especially the Sky High Sunday with it being brand new, because these are all brand new to me. And they, from my experience with the first Booster Course Pass, they are the most fun courses. The two that were added in the first wave, they felt like they were two or three, however many were added, they felt like they were so much longer, more involved, so many more like shortcuts you could take, alternate paths. So I'm excited for those.
Cool. Yeah. I'm very excited for New York Minute and Sydney Sprint as well. I heard they're actually pretty good, like tracks on tour. It's cool that they based it off of big cities too.
I know. I'm noticing that trend, and I'm not familiar with Tour, so anyone who played Tour is probably not surprised by this, but they are based on real places. Like in the first wave, we had the one that was based in Paris, and then I think there was one Tokyo Ninja something.
Tokyo
It was based in Tokyo. Now we have New York and Sydney. That's going to be very cool.
Yeah.
Zach also wanted to know, what is a must-have track you wish to be put in the game by the end of the DLC? Zach, I have one wish and one wish only, and that is Maple Treeway from whatever was in first, the Wii, I guess. That's where I played it.
Was it the Wii?
So pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. And like, it would have been
perfect very
nice if they had it in this one, because, I know it's still summer, I know it's August, but it would have been perfect in time for fall, because it's a very fall type of course.
It is. Yeah. There's a lot of tracks already on this game that I've requested. So I actually don't think I have like another oh, I need this track on this game now. It's like, no, I think they have Rainbow Road from 3DS on this one now. I think that was like a recent addition, like the first wave or whatever. So I think I'm okay. Actually, they've been doing a pretty good job with this. Like, this is a lot of tracks. I mean, we got
was very
16.
pleased. Yeah, so there's still going to be 4 more waves after this, 6 total.
Oh my goodness.
48 total. So we have 8 here. What's 4 times 8? Wait.
You got this. Yeah. 32.
32. Okay. Yeah. There's still a lot to look forward to. There is still a lot more coming. I feel like this is going to end up being like a Mario Kart Ultimate type of thing, where most of the courses will be in this by the time it's over. And there probably are some not so great courses. Like, let's be real, the ones that are on like the Super Nintendo, like, I don't know, like if they haven't already been remade, like are they really necessary? It's like a flat course the whole time. We don't need it.
Yeah, very flat. Yeah.
So yeah, I think everyone here will probably walk away with their favorite courses.
Pretty much.
He also wanted to know, what track is your least favorite ever?
Least favorite? That's a good question.
I don't really like the ones that are like the 3D ones that are based on the Super Nintendo ones, like the Donut Circuit or whatever it's called, Donut Fields, Donut Plains, whatever it is. I feel like I always end up in the corner. I always don't know, I can't get those turns. They're kind of boring to me. There's not really a whole lot going on. I don't really like them.
There was one particular track. I forgot the name and exactly where I got it, like been playing it from, but it's like a Boo track where you kind of go in and it's like super dark. Like in certain areas it's like pitch black. And you actually
I don't remember that one.
And Boo can move you or something like that. Maybe I'm just I don't know, forgetting the memory. But I remember being pretty aggravated in one stadium that had Boo in there, and it was super dark. Guys in the chat, let me know if that rings any bells.
I also hate Cheeseland. Cheeseland can go die in a hole. It's so boring. It's so stupid. It's dumb. I hate it. Goodbye, Cheeseland.
But you love cheese, right?
I love cheese. Oh my God, Garrett, I love cheese, but I don't like Cheeseland.
Okay, G the Man said Boo Lake. Let me look that up. Boo Lake Mario Kart track. Let's see if this is the one I'm thinking of. This is from. It's the second from Super Circuit.
Possibly Ghost Valley.
Actually, I remember this. I think it was remade in a later Super Mario Kart game.
Okay, Blue Lake. See, that doesn't even
Blue
sound
Lake,
familiar to me. I missed a lot of them.
Ghost Valley. Hold on, let me look that one up real quick. Ghost Valley Mario Kart.
That one looks kind of similar.
Oh, actually, I think it was this one. Hold on, let me check. Oh, yes. No, it was this one. I remember playing it not in this game though. Did I play it in I think I played it in a later game. Super Circuit. Actually, no. Wow. Okay.
It was only in Super Circuit?
It was
no,
only
Ghost
in
Valley appears in Wii.
Oh, there we go. That's where I played it at.
Why do I not remember this? Wow. Yeah, never mind. I remember it. Yeah, that one sucks. That one really sucks.
That one kind of sucks, yeah.
I remember that one. And you fall off the edge of that one all the time too. Like you get caught in the corner, you fall off the edge. Doesn't that one the floor breaks at some point and then you fall through? Yeah, that one can die. I don't like that one.
Yeah, that one can just go die. Yes.
Yep. G-Man wants to know, when do you think, this is a good question because I think about this all the time. He wants to know, when do you think Wave 3 of Mario Kart will release? It took 5 months to release Wave 2. So it's possible we get it either November or January.
That's a good question.
Well, we have 4 more to go, right?
Yeah.
And they said through the rest of them will be released throughout until the end of 2023.
Okay.
So if we got one in March, one in the beginning of August, September, October, November, January, let's say we do the next one January.
Sure.
That's one. Well, they'll have to get closer together to yeah.
I think the next one will be during the holiday season. I think it's gonna be early November.
You do? Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. I think that'll be a good catch for them.
Then like another like February, March one.
Yeah.
In March area. Then like another summer one, then another holiday
another
one.
Fall. Well, yeah, another fall one. Yeah, that's what I imagine. Yeah, just sprinkle it out. Yeah,
so
definitely
far apart.
Hit up on that early November because then it's like, oh my gosh, new courses. Oh my gosh, my friend needs to get this Mario Kart game now that's been out for, let's say, since what, 2015 or 14 or whatever.
And by that time, there will be like 24 new courses like from the DLC. So anyone who didn't buy the DLC yet, I feel like that's a substantial amount to, okay, now I'm going to take the plunge. You might not have bought it at 8. You might not have bought it at 16. But finally there's 3 waves.
Yeah,
it could be
that's a lot of new courses. And easily justified for sure.
So excited. I love Mario
Very excited.
I need more Mario Kart content in my life.
I need to get back to it. I haven't played in a hot minute, probably like in a year or 2 years or so.
I feel like these waves will bring me back to it periodically. Like next week I'll play it, over the weekend a little bit, and then I probably, won't play it again until the next wave releases.
Yeah.
I think fill out of it for a week or 2.
Yeah. I think that's how it goes with this game, though. It's like, as long as Nintendo has sold a copy, it's like, I mean, yeah, you're going to play it immediately when the track releases and you're going to go back doing your own video games on Switch. It really doesn't matter to them as long as they sell a copy. So
True. Yeah. Anything else about Mario Kart before we move on?
I need to get back to it. So once this releases, I think I will.
Well, wait, did you just get the expansion pack?
Well, I've had the expansion pass for a good while.
Then you don't need to buy it. You already have this.
Yeah, I'm in a family plan with some other people, and so they
you can hop into this whenever. You don't need to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Nintendo just announced a little bit earlier this evening that the Steve and Alex Minecraft amiibo from the Super Smash Bros. Series of amiibo has a release date. They are coming out on September 9th. It's the same release date as Splatoon 3. So back in February, you might remember that these 2 amiibo were delayed from spring 2022 to later in 2022 when they released the amiibo for Min Min or they announced the release date for Min Min. So if you are an amiibo collector, Smash fan, Minecraft fan, that's when they're coming out, September 9th. I kind of forgot all about them.
Yeah, Steve is one of those hidden characters in the Smash community now. It's actually pretty big. He's a pretty pretty big character in Smash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he good?
A lot of pro players are getting pretty good at him. There's some nasty combos you can do with Steve.
That's like the best timeline ever, because I just remember before he was announced, everyone, like, there were either people who were like saying it as a joke, people who were like so strongly against him ever being in Smash. Yeah. And then, like, I feel like the people who genuinely wanted him, which was the smallest group of all. And I always thought he would be a really great addition. Like, I played Minecraft. I'm not like a big Minecraft fan, but like, let's be real. Minecraft and this character Steve have secured their place in gaming history. Minecraft is one of the biggest games of all time. Like, it would feel wrong to not include him in Smash in some way. Like, he should have been a fighter this whole time. Like, he should have been for years. And I feel like he makes sense as a fighter. He seems like he would be fun to use. So I'm excited that he is like a big character.
Yeah, and I remember like watching his like character move reveal or whatever with Wada, and it's just like, wow, that's a lot of different moves that Steve has. A lot of that's pretty cool. A lot of specialized moves. And then now I see YouTube videos on Twitter, and it's like, oh my gosh, Steve is like thrashing these S tier characters like Fox.
God, that's amazing.
Like Kirby and Jigglypuff. Just like it's just a combo after combo after combo, and like once you have a combo down in the air, it got to the point where he can like kill you off stage. Like you can't break out of it. So
that sounds like it could be broken territory. That could be changed at any time, you know.
It could be. And I also think this amiibo is gonna sell a lot more and a lot bigger than the other DLC amiibos, just because it's Minecraft.
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll get like I think collectors will definitely want it. Minecraft fans will definitely want it, because I'm sure there's collectors within the Minecraft community who just want everything Minecraft. Yeah, G-Man in chat had another question too. He wanted to know when we think the amiibo are releasing until, like, Sephiroth is still coming, Kazuya is still coming. I remember reading something about how Sakurai wasn't planning on making a Sora amiibo, but that might change. So I think definitely Sephiroth and Kazuya are confirmed. Those two are definitely happening. But then Sora is not yet confirmed to be happening. So it might end with Kazuya.
Oh, I think I said Iwata earlier. I meant Sakurai. That's why.
I think I heard that and knew what you meant and didn't even like register that it was the wrong thing.
I know someone's gonna correct me, because that's very different people. Very different people. So I had to set the record straight on that one.
We knew. Most of us knew.
Most of us knew.
But yeah, so get excited. I like amiibo. I want them to keep embracing the amiibo life.
Yeah, I mean, they're not stopping it. It doesn't plan like, the next big first party Nintendo games, they're gonna have an amiibo lined up right next to them. Even third party stuff like Monster Hunter. It's cool.
Need Splatoon 3 amiibo. I want to know who the new pop stars are, and I want amiibo of the new pop stars.
Me too. Oh, that would be so cool. That would be very, very cool.
Oh my god, we're getting so close, and like we don't even know anything.
We're getting very close.
Okay, that's what I'm most anticipated about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 releasing. This was supposed to be the Splatoon 3 release date.
Yeah,
I was supposed to be super excited tonight, waiting till midnight, playing all night, but we had to trade, and I'll give it to you this time. But I'm excited because now that release date is coming on, they're going to start advertising Splatoon out the wazoo now. So now we're going to start we're going to get a Splatoon Direct. Mark my words, we're getting a Splatoon Direct in the next couple weeks. And we're going to learn all about it. There's going to be a test fire. I'm not going to shut up, guys. Until Pokemon comes out, I am not going to shut up about Splatoon. So get ready for it.
Okay. Well, I'll mention Splatoon 3 in our roundup here, so I'll give some of my thoughts about Splatoon 3.
Why don't you lead us through this Nintendo 2022 roundup, Garrett?
Sounds good. So I thought we would, just go through. It's mid-year, actually a little bit later than mid now. It's like the second half of 2022, believe it or not. We've had a lot of first party and Nintendo published and or big games that came out on the Switch this year. And I just wanted to go through and see if you have any thoughts or memories or whatever for past ones. And then what's your hype level? Splatoon 3. That's like your thoughts on the upcoming games that coming out later this year. So, and I put this in chronological order except for the ones that are like not have like a serious release date yet later in the year. But up first, believe it or not, Pokemon Legends Arceus, January 28th.
So long ago now.
Yeah, it's been exactly 6 months, half a year since that game came out.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember finishing it and enjoying it more than recent Pokemon games, and making me very excited for the Violet Scarlet. Yep.
I did too. Yep. I liked it. Didn't feel like it was a mainline Pokemon game. I know they're technically calling it mainline. I don't know if I'll ever consider it to be mainline. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with it.
Me too.
I feel like for the first time, I was very surprised in a Pokemon game.
Yeah, definitely surprised by it. Yeah, I don't think of it as a mainline. It's more like a spin-off preliminary test file. Like, what can we do with this system now? This
very more experimental.
Yeah, open world-ish type of. It's more Monster Hunter like, where you just go to one area and you like kind of search around and do stuff. So I'm glad they're going this route. It's a huge pivot for them, for Game Freak. So yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus is one of the gems of the Pokemon games now.
It's a good start to the year, to be honest. I know a lot of people were like iffy on that game, but I feel like that's, starting the year off with such an ambitious Pokemon game. You don't normally say ambitious and Pokemon in the same sentence, so it was a good start.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, I won't mention this too much, but Triangle Strategy came out March 4th. I feel like this game just came and went. There's the hardcore RPG fans that really enjoyed it, and then others that didn't care so much about it. So it didn't really knock it out of the park, I would say.
I don't hear a lot of people talking about it unless they are referring to the HD 2D art style. Like, I know there was it came back kind of in the discussion with Live Alive when that came out, because a lot of people asked me, how does it compare to Octopath Traveler and Live Alive? And I feel like that is one of the games that is synonymous with, Square's new HD 2D style that they're kind of pioneering.
Yeah, I do have to say that Triangle Strategies HD 2D is very good. I think it's actually pretty different than Live Alive. Live Alive is very crisp, very clear. Like, there's not much like special effects going on, like fog or whatever. It's very like, here's the palette, here's the color palette, and it's like super crisp, and I like it that way. It makes it super bright on the OLED screen, looking great. Triangle Strategy is much, it's let me put fog effect and these magical effects surrounding the HD 2D, which is fine, I think, but it kind of looks, I don't know, like a little bit more dated or whatever. It doesn't look crisp to me, but it's fine. It's still a very charming game. I love the freeform camera too, where you can just like look around the whole map.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's really
a little
cool.
Trippy to me when they showed that off. Is it not like you don't get yourself like all turned around and mixed up? Like, I feel like that's just weird.
I sometimes do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. Especially when I was doing a battle, I was like looking around, like, how do I get there? And I was moving like the camera around, like, oh no, wait, I could just walk straight across. I guess so. And it's just like, yeah, it's a little trippy like that. But anyways, Triangle Strategy. Some people really liked it. I don't think it's anyone's like favorite game or whatever. So, but I'm very excited to play more of it.
It's probably gonna be one of your favorites.
Next up, Kirby in the Forgotten Land, March 25th. And we both did not play this one.
Didn't play it, but I feel like that's another big shout out game for this year because another ambitious title. This was the first time that Kirby was in a full 3D controlled game. And I know a lot of people had so much fun with this.
Yeah, definitely. I know Donnie, when he came into the show, really enjoyed this one. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. There were some few novelties about this game. One, the difficulty being pretty hard, actually, later in the game. I heard it's actually a pretty good difficulty spike on this one. And also just the cinematography and it's not the game itself being open-ish. It's more of the presentation of the game as you go in and out and go all around Kirby. It's actually, it looks more movie focused rather than the game design itself being open. I think it's still a Kirby game. It's very much a Kirby game, but yeah. I'm excited to eventually get my hands on this when it goes on sale for $40 or $30.
I probably will too at some point. I am not a big Kirby game fan, but I love Kirby as the character, so I feel like this might be a good time for me to jump into it, with it being a little bit of a refresh of the series, and just because everyone was talking about how much they loved it. So, and Kirby games get dark, so I like that.
Yeah, XBS says this is the best-selling Kirby game now, and it was reported earlier this week. Yeah.
Good for Kirby.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah. Nice. Next up, Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, came out April 7th, and you reviewed it, Rebecca.
I love that game. It's no Chrono Trigger, but it's very special to me. I think it's a very good game. It was not like the remaster or remake or whatever they called it. It was a remaster. It's not what that game deserved. That being said, I'm very glad that it's now on a modern console, because this is the first time that it's really been ported up, physically. So I'm glad that I had the chance to play it on real hardware.
Yeah, I'm not sure when I'll ever get to this game. I said I would like to get on it, but with all the backlog of role-playing games I have right now on the Switch, I feel like I'll get this on sale eventually on Switch.
I mean, the game's been out for so long. It's not like, you need to play this brand new game that everyone's talking about. So it's definitely, it'll be there. For the remake, or remaster, even though it's not what it deserved, I really appreciated the fact that there were a lot of good quality of life things where, you could speed up the battles. There were just a lot of good changes to it that made it feel more modern.
That's good.
It was polished, not really a good remaster, but polished.
Yeah, they do this a lot with their Final Fantasy games too. It's just this okay, let's just update it and port it into the new consoles. And also, it's really cool that they put that, that exclusive DLC that was never a part of the original game, the Radical Dreamers part.
Never finished that. I should go back and finish that. I completely forgot about that.
Well, there you go. Chrono Cross. And then the next one that actually got canceled and removed, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, was supposed to come out April 8th, delayed indefinitely. This was a collaboration with that one indie studio. What was that indie studio called? Oh my gosh. Wait for it. That's it. Thank you so much. I don't know when this game will come out. It could be later this year. It could be early next year, I suspect. And it's a real bummer because I was looking forward to this one for sure. So
you were playing the original for a while.
I was, and then I dropped out of it. I think I was trying to play some Golden Sun this summer. That's why. So I'll definitely get. I actually no wait. What happened was, I think my save got deleted when I updated my Retro Pocket.
Oh no.
Yeah, but really, I only played the tutorial of Advanced War, and it's a long tutorial. It's I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours, or something like that.
I was gonna say, I remember you playing a little bit of it, and I thought you did more than the tutorial. But if it was that long, that makes sense.
It was quite a bit, and I played the first mission or so. So I just need to get back into it. It's great on Retro Pocket, by the way. Next up, I don't know if we had anything in May, but in June we had Mario Strikers Battle League, came out June 10th.
Yes. And that is
Yes.
getting that update that we talked about last time, where we talked about how it's not enough
It's not going
content to
anywhere.
bring me back.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not. Well, I was excited because I was a big Mario Strikers fan, but the way Nintendo's treating their sport. Oh, XBS, thank you for catching that. I don't know why it didn't sort it out, but I did put Nintendo Switch Sports. That came out April 29th. So there you go. Switch Sports. That didn't do so well.
another one that I am probably never going to go back to. It was fun. I feel like I would
Yeah.
probably play that a lot more often if I had people like physically to play it with. It does make a good family game. It does make a good party game.
Yeah.
It's silly. It had good controls, good sports included. Not enough single player content to keep me going with it.
I think Nintendo's treating all their sports games like that. It's like, hey, it's a party game. You could play together. You could play online with friends. Here's some extra characters. That's pretty much it. Not putting much more than that. So, I mean, there you go. Next up, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes came out June 24th. That's another thing right behind Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Triangle Strategy for me. I need to get to this game before the end of this year. So that will be next up. Donnie really loved it. And I hear everyone loving this game. Whoever was a Fire Emblem fan loves this game as well. So there you go. Next up on my list, Live Alive came out last week.
Heck yeah.
July 22nd. And everyone's liking that one.
Did you see what I bought, Garrett?
What did you wait? Oh, yes, no, I think I did see it.
Can't
is it in the
really
back
see
there?
too much, but it's
Okay.
the box version of the original Super Famicom Live Alive release in 1994, exclusive to Japan. The game made an impression on me. It's no Chrono Trigger, like we said. It's no, like top time, of all time classic. But if you're a fan of 90s, Square JRPGs, play this game, give it a chance. You will like it. It made an impression on me. I love the characters. I want to replay some of the scenarios because they were just that cool. And so what I did was I bought the original, and I have a analog Super NT that it's region free, so you can play Super Famicom games.
Wow.
So I think at some point I might boot it up. And I don't know any Japanese, but I just played through the whole game in English, so I feel like I would know. I would have at least some idea of what to do.
So do you have? That's the original game.
Yep.
Okay, yeah,
On
I don't know.
cartridge.
Yeah, so you won't patch it or anything like that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, we'll see how that one goes.
As old as we are, Garrett. It came out
1994. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And I
cool.
kind of am curious to see what the graphics. It's a beautiful game. Let me tell you, we're comparing it to Octopath. We're comparing it to Triangle. It's so beautiful.
I definitely need to get to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's out of all the role-playing games coming out this year on Switch, this one's probably the most bottom one. And I think it's just because I'm not the biggest classic role-playing game fan. I think that's just pretty much it. I played the demo. It's good. It's pretty. It's just when I was playing, the combat didn't impress me. I think that's what really.
It's very different. It's very different. It's pretty basic.
It's different. It's basic. I didn't sense any type of strategy or other than just picking an attack and just going with it.
The only
maybe there's more strategy later.
Not really. No, the combat's the same. The only real strategy involves making sure that the tile that you're on is going to hit the enemy that you want. Because some moves hit different tiles. Like some of them might hit a 4x4 grid. Some of them might hit the four corners. So just kind of lining yourself up, but being aware that if you get close to your enemy, they might attack you. Things like that.
Yeah. Placement seems pretty big, but just other than that, I was just all right, let me pick this attack, and it looks powerful enough to kill it. So let's just go with it. But that's just me. I'm still probably in my list in the backlog of endless things to
And I
get
feel
to.
like it's a shame of like the timing of this release too, because I feel
Yes.
like it was set. It was set for a while. It was set before Xenoblade, I believe, and it had a whole week of spotlight. Not even, because people aren't really talking about it anymore. Now
Yeah.
Xenoblade is coming out, and that's the one that is going to get all of the attention, which I understand. It's a
Pretty
big
much.
franchise, I understand, but I don't know. I feel like this is a criminally underrated game that will continue to be like underrated.
I think yeah. Well, timing wise, yeah, it's not the best with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I would argue Live Alive is very different than 3. And the people
Yeah.
who are fans of 3, they'll get 3. And I'm sure a lot of them will buy and play and show off Live Alive as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I
Yeah.
saw a lot of people deciding between the two, and they're like, well, if Live
Yeah.
Live released, if it didn't release so close, I don't they're like, I don't have time to beat this whole game before Xenoblade comes out. And then when Xenoblade comes out, I'm not going to care about it. And I understand that. But I think, it's not too late to get, like, just because you didn't play it during its release week doesn't mean you shouldn't go play
Play
it
at all.
when we're done
Yeah.
Xenoblade. Like, it's still going to be
Exactly.
there.
That's exactly how I picture it. It's like Live Live coming out that day. Okay, it's coming out that day. I won't be there day one, but I will definitely be there later on. Square Enix, they go on sale. Square Enix games always go on sale, so I might wait
And
till it
it's
goes like
$50 as it
$30.
is right now, so it's
Yeah,
definitely
that's not
low.
bad. Yeah, cool. So I'm excited to play it when I get there. Of course, we've been hyping this all around. This episode, Xenoblade Chronicles series, coming out tomorrow. So that's the end of that.
Less than an
I'm very
hour,
excited.
40 minutes.
Yeah. Another game I wanted to mention that is probably the worst timing, worse than Live Alive. This is coming out the same day. Same day. Digimon Survive is I wouldn't say this is a big Switch game, but like I feel like a lot of RPG fans like saw Digimon Survive and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you putting this game on the same day as Xenoblade Chronicles series? Like
I don't
you're
know.
sending it off to die. This one really questioned me. Like,
I
why are
know
you
a
putting
few
it
people who
on
are
the
getting
same
it.
day? A few people are getting it. I know.
A few.
Like very few. Now, granted, Digimon Survive, I think it's on other platforms. It's on
Oh,
Steam.
okay.
Yeah, and I think on PlayStation as well. So, but I'm very intrigued about Digimon. I don't know if you were, but I watched the shows. I played some of the games.
Digimon?
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of the first season.
Yeah. I feel like it was always under the Pokemon
I
like
watched it
hypeness or
because I
whatever.
liked Pokemon and I
You,
wanted
you,
more. I consumed anything Pokemon, so I tried to get into Digimon in case it was like going to be more of a, the same kind of hyperfixation as Pokemon was.
right.
And
Right.
I liked the show, but then it got absurd with all of the
It got really
Digivolutions.
absurd. Digimon. I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
I like
And then
Patamon. Patamon is my favorite Digimon. I'm putting that on the record.
and they go back to their original form. It's like, what are you doing? It's just like, okay, whatever, Digimon. You are on some other type of drugs. But the gameplay of this one is a tactical RPG, so it got me.
Ooh, yeah.
It got me. So I'll definitely be looking out for this later this year. And of course, the biggest, most anticipated game of this year, Splatoon 3, coming
Yes.
out September 9th. Yeah, you've been mentioning that it's going to be
Inject it
hyped up a lot. Yeah.
in my veins.
Yeah. This is going to be a huge release. We don't know much. I'm very excited who the pop stars are. I'm excited to see more gameplay. We've barely seen
I know.
any
I
with this
feel like
one.
nobody's talking about it, but once, like, give it 2 weeks from now. They're going to have some kind of announcement on it. We're going to start hearing about it. And the official Splatoon Twitter account has been putting out like some very small updates. Like, here's a new, like, they have shown a couple courses so far. Not courses. What are they called? The maps?
Yeah, the maps. Yeah. We know what you mean.
They've shown a couple of those. They've shown off some of the new weapons, some of the clothing, things like that, little stuff. But I think XENOBLADE is here. Give it 2 weeks. We're gonna get an announcement for a Splatoon Direct.
Are we gonna get so Splatoon Direct, here's everything you need to know. Here's some pop stars.
We're gonna get the announcement by, I'm looking at the calendar,
August. End of next week or the week after?
Definitely not next week, I don't think. I think there's a possibility of the second week of August. If not then, definitely the third week of August, because then it's only gonna be like
2 weeks away. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, it's gonna be very close. I think we
definitely need the second week of August. Give us
and we definitely need a test fire. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, I am very excited for this too. I love Splatoon 2. Fiona really enjoyed playing with me, Splatoon 2. So we are very excited for Splatoon 3. I'm just interested in what's new and like what they improve. I just hope they just fix the things that was kind of a slog into, which is very minor things, I think. But if they just fix that up, I'm all in on Splatoon 3. Well, it's interesting, actually. I have a question for you.
Yes.
With voice chat and stuff like that, do you think you'll just still, like, if you're with your friends, are you just still going to use Discord, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people do that, right? I don't know
I've never used the Nintendo app.
Yeah, and I don't know how to solve that. Like, people, like gamers like us, of course, would use Discord because we understand Discord. But what about the general population? Like, what are they going to use?
I don't think they do.
Like, I don't know. Like kids, like, of course they want to like talk to each other. Like, I guess they have to know Discord or something else. Yeah.
With their phones too. I feel like they probably might call each other.
Yeah.
I know a lot of kids are like
get each other
while they're playing games, so I don't know.
Yeah, FaceTiming on Instagram or whatever you people open up now. Was it TikTok? There's like newer than TikTok apps now. It's like these kids are
I feel like TikTok is gonna be like the old person app scene because there's always new stuff.
Oh no. Yeah, I get you. But yeah, Splatoon 3. Can't wait for it.
Can't wait. I feel like we're like some of the only people, at least in the podcast space, who are like so excited for this game. Like I hear a lot of people who talk about how it doesn't look that different from the second game, which didn't look that different from the first game, and what is so different about it, what is so new about it. But like I just don't think they're doing a good job marketing it to the people who
that's true. They're barely
aren't already sold on Splatoon.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much more, like, what they just need to show off what's different and what's new to it. Like, but at the same time, Splatoon has never been like that game that needs to improve.
Yeah.
Over the years, like Splatoon 1 is still a very solid game.
You can still boot up your Wii U and get into some matches. I say this like, and I haven't tried it in so long. A year ago, that was true. I don't know if that's still true now, but
yeah.
So that game had longer legs than we thought.
I don't expect the gameplay being like too like overhauled or what. Like, do you look at Fortnite and it's like, oh my gosh, they need to overhaul the graphics, and like they put different modes in there, but like they still have the main thing in there. It's just like these online recurrent multiplayer games. I think the central core needs to be the same. It needs to be that fun Splatoon game and I really enjoy like Splatfests, getting together with friends and just like, just playing this game together.
I think the fault that some people have, and I do understand this, that like, you're right. You're talking about all these updates, adding to the core, they're not changing it up a lot. They're just adding new. They're making people pay $60 again, for something that could be added to the game that they already have. don't have a problem with that. Like, I think there's going to be enough new. There's going to be a new story mode. There's going to be, that new campaign. That's not something that you can just add to another game. I want them to really dig deep into like what this darker tone of the game is, because that's kind of what
me too.
Saw that like
still need to. Yeah, I need to play the DLC for Splatoon 2. You said it was great.
Good. It's better. Don't worry about the single player for that game. Go play the Octo expansion.
DLC. Yeah, and it's actually on. I have it because of the expansion pass, Nintendo Switch Online. So
my hope is that the main campaign, the main single player campaign for Splatoon 3, is more like the Octo expansion than the other single player campaigns.
And make Salmon Run just like make that a permanent mode. Like
I know.
I don't like this. This business.
Have faith in the amount of player base that you have.
Yeah. So there you go. Splatoon 3, guys. Get hyped. Other than Xenoblade Chronicles 3, this is my most anticipated game this year, and that is Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, made by Ubisoft.
They released I didn't put this in the show notes. Ubisoft came out with a new 6-minute long, it's not like a trailer, but more of a producer interview. I don't know if you saw that. He was talking about like things with like Bowser being an ally instead of an enemy, things about the spark powers. So they're still putting out new information about that game too, if you haven't seen that.
Yeah, a lot of different marketing going on. I didn't read too much on the latest stuff, but that was what they were showing off a lot in the their direct, the Mario plus Rabbids direct or whatever. Bowser being an ally is kind of like is an interesting concept, but it's been done before in some spin-off Mario games. I guess they just want to follow that. I'm glad that they're doing their own spin of those games, of this campaign. I'm glad they're putting in new characters, for sure. So, and this looks so good. It looks so much improved than the first one. Freeform, instead of that tile blockness, is the XCOM like Mario RPG that I tell everyone, if you want to get into this type of game, this is it. This is the game. This is Mario plus Rabbids, the franchise, super good. And it's always, the first one's always on sale, and I tell everyone to go play it if you have not tried it out. So yeah, very excited, and it's all focused around Mario Galaxy themes.
Yes, so, which I think it's interesting. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. We've seen Rabbid Rosalina, but we have not yet seen Rosalina herself in any of the trailers or gameplay or cutscenes or whatever.
Yeah, I suspect she's in it though, because Peach was in the last one. So
I think she's in it, and I think they're purposely not showing her because it's going to be something in the plot that they don't want to tell us.
Some reveal. I don't expect this single player campaign to be like, it's going to be actually very comical, like the Rabbids, right? Like Lego Star Wars. Yeah. I think of Lego games when I think of the type of story this is. There's barely any voice acting in here. It's just all sounds and emotions, just like a Mario game, it's just
seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like it's still like at its, under that layer of not taking itself too seriously is still, some really deep core, experience and gameplay, and like, it's rich. It's very rich.
Can't wait. Next up, Bayonetta 3 coming out October 28th. Finally have a release date. It is made by Platinum, published by Nintendo. And so there you go. Another one of those.
Like that's going to be good. I feel like the Switch needs exclusive, I know it's not first party, but it's also not quite third party. Like, would you call this like in the same vein as Pokemon, as like a second party-ish type franchise?
I would say it's more detached. I would say it's more detached than Pokemon, just because the previous Bayonetta games, I think Bayonetta 1 was on other platforms as well. But yeah, Bayonetta 2 and 3, you can say they're second party because they're published by Nintendo. Yeah.
I feel like they need more of this kind of stuff on Switch, where it's like, more mature, more, dark and
dark and
Bayonetta and sexual.
Donnie, we're trying.
What
we're really trying.
What did he say about us?
No, he didn't say anything about us, but it's just so funny how
you're hearing his voice.
He's like, what are you talking about?
I know this is a very outsider looking in perspective of Bayonetta, but I feel like you know, it makes it so that it's not, you know, a kid's console. It's
exactly
a franchise that the Switch can be proud of, that is like, hey, look, we can, you know, stand up with the big boys. So
yeah, this and I think the Metroid series is like gearing more towards the more mature audience. I'm glad Nintendo has invested into this series, Bayonetta, because it's that kind of vibe. It's not for kids. It's not anyone below 10 years old or 12 years old or whatever. Like you see this trailer and you're just like, oh boy, okay, it's gonna be one of those games.
So it probably shouldn't be for anyone under 17 years old. But you know there will be. You know there will be.
Technically.
People playing it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not like super like I'm not gonna be there day one. I have Bayonetta 1 and 2, the combo pack on Switch. I need to try that out first. Play that. I'm actually like when I was playing Bayonetta and Super Smash Brothers, I wasn't really having too much of a good time. It seemed like a lot of combos and like there's a lot of like range attacks on her, not as much melee. So I wonder how the game is. It looks fast paced. It looks 2D fighting, which I'm not a big 2D fighting fan. But yeah, I'll try out Bayonetta 1 and 2 on Switch and see if I'll get into 3 later.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty much it. And then the last one
before you move on, I need that game to score really well because I have it in Fantasy Critic.
I think it'll score well. I think it could be mid-80s. If it's
mid-80s.
This is platinum though. Platinum.
Okay.
I'm very hesitant with that studio because you know everyone talks about them.
1 scored 90, and Bayonetta 2 scored 92. So type off.
That's pretty good. I mean, and you look at Nier Automata, it's pretty fan. I know, but I'm thinking Bayonetta 3 is. I don't think it will hit as high as the 90s. But I definitely an 85 is like a minimum. That's like baseline for you. So there you go. 15 points to you, Rebecca. Good job.
15 points for Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. All right, last one that has a set date. Pokemon Scarlet Violet coming out November 18th. And we're both very excited for that one, I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I am so deep in these leaks, Garrett. I keep looking at
there's
them.
Leaks.
Tag me in. There's so many leaks. But like I don't know, like some of them might be real, but I'm looking at all of them. It's fueling my hype. When do you think we'll get a new trailer or information about it?
I think we're due for a trailer like next month. Like it's been a while since we had one. Yeah, late August would be good, or beginning of the school year would be a good time. I'm interested. I want to know a little bit more about like the world and the mechanics themselves. I don't really care much about the Pokemon. I'm kind of like, I know there's Pokemon.
Really?
I know there's designs. I'm kind of I can only get hyped so much about Pokemon after 9 generations.
No, that's my favorite part. I don't care about the fighting. I like collecting them.
Oh my god.
All the ones that they've shown so far, Lechonk, Smoliv, Paunchy, whatever his name is. They're so cute.
They're very cute. Yeah, I wonder how much more new Pokemon they're gonna make for this one. I don't think as much compared to the previous ones, but we'll see how it goes. Gonna be a big Pokemon game for them.
Yes. I'm refraining from saying things that I can't remember if they are potential leaks that I read or stuff that was already common knowledge. So I hope we get something soon so that we can talk about it in more detail. But
sometime later. All right, so here are the leftovers I have that don't have set dates, but it's upcoming. Well, there's some set dates, but I don't think it's like of note. Persona 5 is coming out in October for Switch. Persona 5 Royal, so get hyped for that. Nier Automata is coming out October 6th. So there you go. Keep a lookout for that one. People have been going crazy with Nier Automata recently. Have you seen this on Twitter? Like,
no, I haven't.
Oh my goodness, the community in Nier is going crazy over this game because someone found a new area.
Oh wait, yes.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah. It's like a random church level. And people are debating if it's modded or not.
And like this was something that was not found in any previous version or anything.
Right. It's like recent video came out like this past week. It's been 5 years.
Is anyone able to replicate it?
I don't know. Like, I think it's only by one person now, and other people are trying to get to that area, and it's like a specific way. I wonder if it's triggered somehow in the game. Like, you have to do certain things that you just don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah, there is a secret area, and everyone's going bonkers for it. So there you go. I love Nier Automata. It's a very good game. And then Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion coming out in December. That's the remake of the PSP game Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. It doesn't look like it looks like it's just smoothed out textures, maybe a little bit better camera view and angle, whatever. I know people are excited for that. And then Sonic Frontiers coming out Q4 2022 still. So that's it. That's all the highlighted Switch games, at least in my view.
I feel like, we're disappointed about Breath of the Wild being delayed. We're disappointed about, Advance Wars being delayed, canceled.
Yeah.
There's stuff that we're missing. There's stuff that we wanted, but it's really hard not to be happy about this year, I think, as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of games on Switch, especially for like a lot of role-playing games on there, so I'm doing okay. But there's also there's a sports game there, there's Splatoon there.
Technically 2 sports games, Switch sports.
Yeah, 2 sports games, yeah. You're right.
Strikers and we're getting that something else we didn't even mention, that little eShop Kirby game is coming out. That's like another little party game that's going to be coming out sometime this summer, which we have a few more weeks until that happens.
Pretty much.
I feel like it's also been like a very experimental year. Like we talked about Pokemon Legends Arceus being experimental, Kirby being experimental. Even the upcoming Pokemon, I feel like is looking to be different than what we it's like another open world type of Pokemon game. So I think it's hopeful. I think there's a lot to look forward to. We're seeing games really pushing the hardware to the limit with XENOBLADE 3, Bayonetta, like everything we've been talking about with a potential, Breath of the Wild and another Switch hardware next year could be looking more likely. And I think if that's the case, that sets us up really well for next year's games.
Oh, for sure. We got some heavy hitters that are imagining coming out next year. Maybe we'll have a surprise amount. I'm thinking there's still one more first party game coming out later this year. I think there's one more. I don't know what it is.
To announce it.
It's getting pretty late. Nintendo's been doing this though. They've been really delaying to the last minute. Oh, by the way, here's this game coming out next month or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. They did that with the Kirby Buffet. I know that's just a little eShop title, and I don't think that they're going to be announcing an Mario Odyssey 2 for this year, but I think there could be something. Maybe a Star Fox title, that Donkey Kong that we've been talking about for years.
We're still Donkey Kong would have been. It would be a great thing to have. I know it's been rumored a lot, and then of course Metroid Prime has been rumored like crazy.
Another remaster,
another remastered in there, and of course new Mario and Breath of the Wild 2 and/or sequel. Very excited for what's coming up for Switch. But
agreed. That's a good roundup. I'm glad that we did this. It kind of helped me remember everything that I've played so far this year, and excited for what's to come.
Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 3. Let's end the show with chat questions directly from you. I know we're about an hour and a half. Are you good to keep going through all these questions? Do you want me to pick some?
Do however much. I mean, I feel like a lot of them we can do a short answer for. So I think we can knock these out. So go for it.
Okay. Matt wants to know, do you not, Jesus, to not care that Satiros and Minority are trying to light the elemental lighthouses? Have you no sense of urgency for all those living in Wayard? He's making fun of me because I did not play more Golden Sun, and this is Jennifer who we're talking about. I forgot that I put this question on here from him. I keep forgetting, like throughout the week, I keep forgetting that that's an option for me to play because it's on my Retroid Pocket, and I don't normally like pick that up and look at it every day. I should put it like next to my bedside or something so that like
you do something with it. Yeah,
like
I understand.
And then we heard those rumors that with it going on their website, like are they gonna make it? Like
character assets right there.
Character assets.
New art. Yeah, I haven't been playing too much of Golden Sun either. I just whenever I have time, I put like maybe like 20 or 30 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm good. Let me go off to another thing now. But I feel like we just need I think we just need all three of us to come here and just be like, let's have our book club thing. I think that's what's ruining it.
It's such a failed attempt at the book club, but we need to, that doesn't mean
we're crashing and burning hard.
We're not giving up. We're not giving up.
I've been playing it. It's been good.
I know. It's my fault.
Actually, I got to a point where the puzzle is actually like pretty complex. And I'm like, okay, I got to really, turn the gears here. Like, how do I get through this level, this obstacle or whatever? Yeah, Golden Sun, more update next week from me. Not right now, though.
We'll see, Matt. We'll see.
We'll see.
I like this. Delvin always, shout out to Delvin. He always comes up with really good questions. He wants to know, is there a limit to what you will pay for video games? At what price range would you have to bow out and not purchase video games anymore? And I feel like this question probably is coming up because of all the discourse over in PlayStation Land with The Last of Us remake being $70 and how it's not enough worth for $70, and everyone's talking about that and the value of games. And it's true, a lot of these first party Sony and Xbox games are $70 now, and that is $10 more than what we're used to, and it is a remake, and I think there is some legitimacy to that, even though I don't agree with this part in particular. We haven't seen that upgrade for Switch games yet. If I understand Delvin's question correctly, like assuming that it keeps going up from here, like assuming Switch games eventually become 70, are we looking 10, 20 years down the road? What if they become 75? What if they become 80? They're really expensive in Canada. I'll let you answer first.
Okay.
I'll tell you my thoughts.
My thought originally with this question, I don't think there's really a price tag unless it's really far out there. Like I'm imagining base price, let's say $100 or more. I would probably bow out then, like a radical price change. I think $10 is like, okay, it's $70 now. Imagine paying an Xbox 360 game in 2005 for $60. Now think of inflation rate between 2005 and 2020. Yes.
That's what I was going to talk about.
That's $72, $73 or something like that equivalent. So I feel like $70 is perfectly okay. There are a lot of SNES and PS1 games that were originally in that year $60, $70, $80. Now it would be well over $100. I think it's more of a eye of the beholder, because The Last of Us Part 1 is a specific case a lot of people are having discussion with. And I'm just like, okay, if you want to get it, because it's going to be the newest, fanciest, part of the game. It looks newer. It looks a little different, I think. It looks like what they envisioned, I guess. Is that probably an opinion I can put out there? It's like they wanted more vegetation in certain lands. They wanted to do more, I don't know, like smoothness on the character models or whatever. Yeah, that's like, do it then. And then sell it for $70. Like I don't care. I'm not going to buy it day one because I don't think like that particular game, for me, my opinion, is like, I don't think it's worth it. I'm not going to pay $70 for that. And I think I just won't pay a lot of games for $70 day one just because I won't be playing it day one. Like, yeah. I think it doesn't matter really for me. It just depends on like my personal opinion. What games do I get day one? Which ones I don't? When do I think it's worth it? Now, for me, like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, yeah, I'm there day one. I'll pay $60. I feel like with games like Witcher 3, for example, a game that's like well over 100 hours of time, I imagine that can be an $80, $90 game. Like I would pay $80 or $90 for that because of how much value I get out of that game.
Yes.
So, yeah, I just wish there's not the stigma of like, this is the base price range. This is it. And I feel like we're getting a bit better by having some smaller games cheaper. Now I want more games to be like, hey, we're like 70, we're $80. Like, this is a huge game. We're confident that it's going to sell enough copies for this price. But yeah, that's just me.
I agree, and I don't want to talk about The Last of Us specifically. You can read lots of Twitter fights that I had if you want my opinion on that topic. I just went to usinflationcalculator.com and I picked the year 2002, just around 20 years ago. If I purchased an item for, now I am too young to know if games were $60 on the shelf back then. So I put in $50 because I don't know, like maybe they cost $50 back then. I don't know. How much did they cost?
Yeah.
They definitely didn't cost a whole lot less than that. I know that. But let's just say 50, on the high end here. In 2022, this year, that same item would cost $82. So I feel like we are really, really lucky that games have not risen with inflation the same way everything else has. Everything costs more right now. Movie tickets are more. Literally everything costs more right now than it did 20 years ago. And I don't know that there are real, like, the only other thing that has not changed due to inflation has been like minimum wage. So I feel like, yes, everything is expensive. Everything is getting more expensive. We are lucky that video games have not, risen that much because we're not paying $82 for our first party games. You're right that, there's still the option. There's still so many games that you can buy that are less than that AAA price. Play more games. Maybe when they get to be that much, they get to be 70, they get to be 80. Maybe you are choosier about the ones that you're going to buy. And, maybe you're only buying one, two, or maybe three of those $80 games a year. You want to pick it for the biggest, best ones. I will always buy my favorite franchises that much because I feel like we've saved so much money over the years from these games not rising with inflation. So
I think it's just like a mentality. It's like if you don't want to buy a game at that price, don't buy it.
Gaming's a luxury. You don't need to play video games. Like, it is a luxury to buy. You are not entitled to it. I'm lucky that I can afford the games that I want to play. I, can't afford to buy every single game that releases, but I buy the ones that I want to buy. And no, I don't want the games to be $70, $80, $90 someday, but I feel like it's inevitable and we're lucky that it's been delayed this long.
Yeah. There's some arguments on chat which I want to point out. Gerald Nut says, I think it was Gerald Nut or someone earlier. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Captain Logan said this argument would hold up if our pay went scale the same rate as the inflation.
Well,
but
yeah, and that's what I talked about. Like, and that's a whole. I'm not gonna get like political about it, but like, I think minimum wage should go up too. I will get political about it, but like, I don't know. Everything if you take that out of the equation, everything has gone up in price. Everything.
Mm-hmm. So. And then Yarden said, flip side, people probably had more disposable income 20 years ago. You're darn right, Ray Yarden. Yeah. No cell phone bills, no Netflix subscriptions, etc.
Sure.
I get that. I just think, for me personally, baseline, like, okay, what's the minimum amount of games I would be entertained with for a year? It's like I can buy games that were like made 3 or 4 years ago on sale for like half the price, for quarter of the price. I think that's another big thing as well. There's a lot of games that, initially sell at this price tag and they just immediately drop. Like Ubisoft is infamous for that. It's like, here it is for $90 special edition. 2 months later, okay, it's now like 40. And it's just like, well, of course, I'm just going to wait like 2 weeks. You're getting the people that would like to get it day one for that insane high price tag, and then they back out and they put it much lower. Now, Nintendo doesn't do this as much, of course, but they've been consistently putting out a lot of their first party Switch games down to $40 constantly.
WarioWare was, I think, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're still seeing that. I think that could be true for the other consoles too. There are still some games that are under, but I mean, the thing that bothers me is when, well, this is maybe me being a little bit hypocritical in this particular situation, but stuff like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, it came out on the Wii U for $50, and then they sold it on the Switch for $60, and that kind of stuff rubs me the wrong way, because let's be real, it was the same game. I don't care that there was a Funky Kong mode. It wasn't a remaster. It wasn't like they were adding any grand content to it. It should not be more. It should have been at least the same price. But that being said, I think in general,
I think we're doing okay with prices. And I to answer Delvin's question, if a game's gonna come out and day one it's like $100, and if I really want that game, I'll be like, I need to seriously reconsider that. Like that gets to the point where I'm like, I'm kind of out. But I think,
and I think 70, developers 80, have to realize that too. Like, let's say they put out Breath of the Wild 2, they're not going to, but let's say they put it at $80. Like, you're gonna get the biggest Zelda fans to buy it, but are you gonna get the the people who maybe are not huge Zelda fans or who have not played Breath of the Wild 1, or are those people going to buy it? And then are you going to make your money back? Like, it's almost like you're shooting yourself in the foot in some cases if you price it too high. But
yeah, I think that's all business. Yeah, and I think the video game business has this MSRP, AAA games, $60, and I'm kind of glad Sony and Ubisoft's like, let's put it a bit higher now. Let's put it $10 higher. It's okay. Of course, there's workarounds. There's going to be sales. Like, I don't buy PS5 games day one for $70. No. I was actually on the Discord earlier. I was like, hey, I just want to confirm Horizon Forbidden West PS4 version, $60, and I can upgrade for free. That's totally a route you can go. So I always nickel and dime every time I can. But I think still $70 is okay.
Yeah. And, you got to keep in mind too, like, I know, like, I don't know, I feel very strongly about developers being paid for their work. And when you have studios that have hundreds and hundreds of employees, or on the flip side, you have these smaller studios that, they might have less than 50 employees, and then they're selling their game for $9.99. It's like, how are you putting food on the table? So
yeah,
I don't know. I think,
and
they
got to make it back.
It's not food. It's not a cell phone bill. I saw somebody say, like, it's not.
That's why they have these extra things now on it. The gold edition, and the microtransactions was a big thing earlier, and now it's They're trying to do these little things because like we're not making back a revenue just off of this, and game development costs so much. We can get into this rabbit hole all we want, but we can go to the next question if you want.
And we said we're gonna fly through these questions, and then I think we just spent like at least 10 minutes on that question. It's almost midnight for me. Do you care if I read our last question and save the other ones
go for it
next week? And if you
wrote
in and you didn't hear your question, we'll save it for next week.
Definitely.
But I think probably the quickest one to get through here will be Ghost Days 99's question. What do you think the worst title would be for the new Breath of the Wild game?
That's a funny question. I love it. Man. I would think like another spinoff of Breath of the Wild, but I'm not too sure.
My fear is that
Breath of the Time.
My fear is that they're going to cling on to the Breath of the Wild name as a recognizable thing, and the name's going to end up being something like The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, something of the something. Like it's going to be way too long.
Oh, don't do the double colons. Fear. That's like the newest. Isn't that the newest thing though for movies and video games to do? Is these double? I just can't. No.
Because think about how much brand recognition they have from Breath of the Wild.
I know. Well,
they're gonna want to keep that.
It's Zelda. Like you don't.
I know.
Yeah, I Breath of the Wild. Yes, of course. Great game on Switch. The Zelda though, like that's still. I think they're gonna make it rhyme or like have the in there, like darkness of darkness of the clouds, or I don't know.
Just sounds like such like a fan made title to me, like a ROM hack or something. The Legend of Zelda: Darkness of the Cloud. Like, but you're right. That would be bad. That would be like
I think Time and Dark, at least one of those two will be in the title.
I actually think Time could have something to do with the title, and that's why they're not revealing it.
Yeah.
There's no way they would do it, but it would suck pretty badly if they just pulled The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild Part 2. not to hate on the Last of Us fans, but they could.
That would be bad.
They won't.
Well, Last of Us is Last of Us. It's a game.
Yeah.
And it's part 1 and part 2. That makes sense. But Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, like that's a version that is Zelda, not Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is not a franchise. Okay?
No,
Legend of Zelda
not.
is. I just don't want this mantra of Breath of the Wild being a franchise. It's like
I know
we've been keep saying Breath of the Wild too as well, like so much. It's getting into our brains. Like get it out is gonna be another subtitle. It's not gonna be Breath of the Wild. It's gonna be Darkness of the Time Clouds.
The reason why Project Triangle Strategy ended up being Triangle Strategy. The reason why Project Octopath Traveler ended up being Octopath Traveler.
Oh no! Don't give me Breath of the Wild 2. Don't do it, Nintendo. You know better.
I don't think they will.
Ooh, yeah.
But
I think it's gonna be and there's gonna be 4 words.
So Ghost Days, I think collectively what we're saying is the worst title for this game would be The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2, Darkness of the Clouds.
I love it. That's our. I want that actually.
I'll mock up a logo for us, okay, Garrett?
I'm gonna put this on Shack too. I'm gonna put it right below here. No, I'll put it right above so we can have some chats up here. We're gonna put it right above.
I'll work on it, and then we'll have that ready to go.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If we did not read your question, we'll save it for next week. But I am gonna not play
so late for you.
I'm gonna go to bed. And if you're playing it this weekend, have fun, enjoy. Yeah. Don't blow through the whole game in a weekend. Get some sleep, drink some water, take some breaks.
Yeah. Eat food.
And just enjoy. It's not too often that a huge game comes out like this. So
just relish it. Yeah. It's okay. Take your time with it. That's what they always say in Persona 5 is take your time in the loading screens.
Oh, they don't say
and I'm like,
shit.
No, that would be and I'll be like, yeah, I'm relishing this game.
All right, Koopalings, that's gonna do it. We will see you next week.
Bye-bye. Oh, that's the wrong